the Hilltop Podcast.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to
Good
a
morning.
special episode of the Hilltop Glove podcast, specifically one for our sponsors. One thing that we wanted to do this season is make sure that we put a spotlight on those who support us and make it possible for us to continue to bring you all exciting and informative content and talks with folks from around our community here in North Carolina, South Carolina, et cetera, surrounding areas. And one of the ways we do that are through local business members, owners, entrepreneurs, and et cetera, who think, hey, man, what they're doing is fantastic. And I would want to make sure that financially that they're able to continue to do that. And so we wanted to start bringing those people onto our platform outside of their normal 9 to 5s of what they come to onto our podcast about, and just talk about their things that they do business wise in the community and what it is that they're doing that allows for them to support us. And so today we are proud to have with us Miss Chantel Broughton. She's been one of our guests, and it's nice to have our guests also support us because, man, what more could we ask for? You already came on the darn podcast. We asking you for money now, made
Right.
me feel bad. Same time. Thank you. Thank you.
What?
Because you must have seen something when you were on the pod or when you listen to the pod. You're like, you know what? There's value there. And so for you to put your hard work,
Absolutely.
energy into us with that is amazing. And so we want to make sure that we give you this time to give you your flowers, but also give you some time to discuss what it is that you do, specifically what you want to promote and what you want to make sure you know what our audience can understand is behind the sponsorship that's coming from you. The floor is yours.
Okay, so thank you for the introduction. Again, my name is Chantel
Nature is
Broughton. I am
alive.
located, it is.
Go ahead.
I'm located in North Charleston. And so my role at the Business Success Center, excuse me, is to serve as like a hub for entrepreneurs. So I serve the entire state, all 46 counties. And
Mm,
it is my job to be knowledgeable of all the resources and services available to entrepreneurs, specifically for those entrepreneurs who just have an idea and haven't incorporated their business, don't know how to start their business, or those entrepreneurs who have been in business for a while and just aren't sure how to move the needle forward into growing or scaling their business. You can definitely come to me and I can help you identify capital sources. It can help you identify education and training, whether that's through accelerator programs, whether that's through one-on-one mentorship. And then I can also help you flesh out ideas for your business as well. So that can be in the form of writing a business plan, a logic model, any kind of document to help you organize your thoughts and organize the growth of your business. I can also assist with those things as well.
Wow. Then you serve the whole state.
There's a lot.
So anybody in South Carolina that has a small business idea, either up and running or not up and running, you can help them figure out what the next step is and where to get funding for it. What does that cost? Do you have
yeah.
to be a member of something? Is it a government program? What's the deal with all that?
So my services are free. Um, I'm not the one providing these services. I'm more of a connector. So I connect people to the resources that are available to them. Sometimes those resources are at a cost, whether that's a nominal fee or a membership. Most of the resources that I provide to people are free. So we use resources like SCORE, the SBA, different city and municipalities offer like business development sections or services or divisions. So we just try to get resources from every nook and cranny, honestly.
I see. And a lot of times these are resources that are not really highly contested because people don't know about them. Because that's kind of been our
True.
experience
True.
recently is that a lot of people just don't know about
True.
this at all.
Don't know. Wow.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
Do you guys have events where you promote or network with locals in the
Yes. So
community?
we host our own events. We actually have an event coming up on May 10th where we
Okay.
try to do like a small presentation to highlight services available to entrepreneurs, but also allow them to network with our resource partners and amongst themselves. Because there's power in an entrepreneur talking to another entrepreneur. There's
Yes.
opportunities for collateral often think
Yes.
about. There's opportunities for support. A lot of people just don't know about your business, so they can't support you. We're
Hmm.
definitely very heavy with networking and bringing entrepreneurs together so that they can put their business in front of people.
And that's something interesting too, because I know a lot of people, when you've got an idea that you're trying to flush out, it's very helpful to collaborate with other people. But yet, there's also this other side of it that there's always a voice, that's somebody telling you that, like, hey, you can't tell anybody about this. You got to keep it top secret. You got to get all your paperwork in
Right.
line, all your NDAs and stuff before you can talk. How do you feel about that versus, like collaboration versus, yeah,
Gatekeeping.
wow.
That's a really good question. So I strongly recommend those who are not like incorporated. You don't have an LLC, nonprofit, whatever it's a business. You don't have anything legally to protect somebody from stealing your information, right?
Right. And you don't have the
But I
infrastructure
do
to
think that
start it
there's
yet.
power and yeah, there is power in bouncing off ideas from someone who's either ahead of you or someone who's in the same space as you. Two minds are always better than one. But I think
Hmm.
we got I would recommend going to maybe like an independent consultant starting off. Maybe I would go to an organization like SCORE or the SBA or the SBDC, where these are business consultants who have some kind of ethical model behind their business framework, who are confidential and won't tell your business to somebody else. That's just
Mm.
me.
Okay. Yeah, that's great advice. So you can
Mhm.
get your ideas to mature, bounce them off people without having to worry about it getting draped.
Correct.
Hmm. Yeah, no one's feeling it. That's good. That's very good information. May have to cut you to come to our create tomorrow virtually and tell
Alright.
people that because I think that's
Right.
something that seriously, that's something that most people don't think about because you're so excited, especially when you start a new venture. You're just, I mean, you're over the wall. Hey, I can do this. I have this new thing. I want everybody to know about it. I want you to be able to help and etc. And then when someone takes it, because you don't have any protection intellectually over what you created, it does hurt. And to not know how to properly set yourself up for that success, it can be a bit daunting. I mean, and then at the same time, it stops people who have those good ideas from even moving forward because if it happens to you once, maybe twice, then you may give up altogether on trying to even move forward.
Not to be too churchy on here, it's still Saturday, but I do feel like if God gave you the idea, no, he will see you through if you stay
Mm.
committed to what the idea is that he gave you. I
Yeah.
definitely believe
This is true.
it's
It's
okay for
true.
somebody else to have a similar business model.
Yeah.
He's gonna allow you to see your vision through, stay
Right.
the course.
And a lot of times it's putting in the work. And you
Yeah.
mentioned business development and getting training. And I feel like that's something that, like a lot of times I help nonprofits and I help small businesses. I've tried to do them before, but there's always elements of this model that you don't have. And, it's great to find people, but at the same time, you got to educate yourself on all of this stuff somewhere along the way. If no other reason to just to find it,
Point. So what kind of
I definitely will learn about how to scale a business.
yeah. Yeah. So and on that same vein, like what kind of educational resources are offered by that Business Success Center to help people learn those type of business education. So for instance, how like what do you all offer to teach? Like are they classes? Are they just resources? Do you all offer outside of the networking that is provided?
Sure. So we provide lunch and learn to
Okay.
our members and the general public every other Wednesday. So I think the next
Ooh.
one will be April 17th and then every other Wednesday. One of the things that we really try to focus in on is business financial literacy because we deal with a lot of
Mm,
minority entrepreneurs and just as a people, that's something that we need some work in because we weren't taught those
Yeah.
fundamental business financial literacy skills. We weren't taught those fundamental personal financial literacy skills. So we really teach people like cash flow management is the next session that we have. So we want people to understand like how revenue flows into your business. How do
mm,
you use your revenue flow to project your business for the next 3 years? Because when you're getting a loan, they want to know that you can project the growth of your business for the next 3 years. How do you
true.
do so? We're going to break down those steps to be able to manage the flow of revenue within your business, manage the flow of expenses so that you can move on to the next, which would be to project your business for 2, 3 years. And so when it's time for you to get a loan, you can check off all those boxes and you're not staggering that process because you already know those fundamentals.
Hmm. Hmm. Awesome.
That's good for Shark Tank.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
Because I watch people
wrong
go
with
on
Shark
Shark
Tank.
Tank, eating alive.
Even trying to get sponsors or trying to get donors or trying to get grants, you have to
You need
prove
your
that you have a sound model in place and that you're not just
Yeah,
gonna piss away the money.
yeah,
fumble the money.
yeah. That's true, man. People dropping the bag. What does the demographic makeup of the participants look like?
I would say off the top of my head, it's probably 75, 10, and 5. No, that does not equal 100. Y'all know what I mean.
Oh,
Like
look, I
three
said,
quarters.
wait a minute. Hey, 75, 10. I was like, all right, we're almost there. We got 2.5, 1.2, and
It's probably majority Black business owners.
okay,
I
okay,
th
okay.
and then the remaining would be, like, Hispanic, and
That's
that's
what I
why
wanted to
Hispanic
hear
business,
because I live down
yeah, our
there.
Spanish speaking
Yes,
business.
Spanish speaking businesses. And I was wondering because, especially with like, I mean, my brother said, like, so we have family in Newton, Connecticut, and everybody has family up north. What they realize is that the African American or the Black community and the Hispanic Latino community, business wise, we deal with some of the same hurdles. And I was wondering, especially down there in Charlotte, because I lived down there for a while. One thing I realized is that there are a lot of Latino business owners, et cetera, in certain corridors. And I was like, so where do they get their business education? Where do they get their sponsorship, their help to promotion and getting them off the ground? Because they're doing it. And so I'm saying, how are they doing it? Where are they getting these loans? How are they putting this together? And I didn't know if there was something that there was a resource that we were both using. And so since you were speaking about this today, I had to ask just to know what the participation is because
Absolutely.
I think we should participate more with each other business wise, just because of the growing demographic, but also the similar history that dealing with business here in the US, it would make sense. I just know I went to hand to hand. I've been in North Charleston. I know where them businesses at. I went and got me some mole. I know where to get me a cell phone for cheap and some international phone card. I know.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, all right, so that's cool. I'm happy about that because they always talk about the divide between black and brown. I'm like, but why I was like, why would we have that? I don't think that should be an issue. There's some really good friends down there. They actually own a Venezuelan and Syrian. He actually worked with a contracting company and they remodel houses and flip them. And they've been doing really well. And he's been telling me about how they've been working with some business tables and stuff like that just to get their education up so that they can be a better business. His name is Chetty, man. Chetty, man. I hope they still out there doing well because for a while it was a little rough during the pandemic, but they are doing well now. So just wanted to put that little note in there just to see how you all were doing. Outside of that, are there any other groups that participate outside of Latino, white, or black groups that participate in you all organization?
We have other demographics like veterans. We also have some business owners who have various abilities. I don't like to say disabilities. I say various
Yeah,
abilities.
yeah,
Um, I guess when you're in that group where you're privileged, you kind of don't realize the struggles that a lot of business owners that are different from you. But
mhm,
even business owners who have various abilities, it's hard for them, no matter what ethnic background they belong to get help
exactly.
too, which is very
Uh-huh.
interesting. So yeah,
Yeah,
we work with a little bit of everybody.
up. But, my day job, I do a little bit in the technology field, particularly pertaining to accessibility and websites. And, we don't think about it so much, but if you have a vision accessibility issue
Mhm.
and you're trying to register accounts online and all of these things have methods to make sure you're not a robot, that usually
Oh,
comes with like,
wow.
pick which one of these pictures is a motorcycle and you can't see that motorcycle. Guess what?
Right.
That's a huge barrier to entry to making all of these little
Right
accounts that you
through.
need to run your
Right.
business.
Yeah.
And that's on
Oh,
us,
man.
as
Yeah.
talking from people that build the web to notice that that's a problem and not.
Yeah. Work around it. Oh, that ain't even think about yeah, that's difficult. Because you don't want to have barriers because I know that's one thing, Chantel, that you all are dealing with is working through barriers. And I'm happy that you brought that up just so that our audience can see that that's something, doesn't matter what you're doing, even if you're trying to assist people, good Lord, you're going to even have barriers there. I know not to make this go too long, but I do just want to ask a question. What is your, I have to ask this, since you're a sponsor of our show, and we appreciate you for being that. Could you tell the
So
audience a little bit of why you're happy to be a sponsor for our show? And if you have any favorite episodes or highlight things that you've seen from our show or things that you like that our show does so that they can understand why you wanted to be involved with the Hilltop Glove podcast.
think my mission is to provide education so that people can implicate that into whatever they're doing and to just be better. And I think y'all do a really good job. Basic questions and responses. Like you're teaching people how to do X, Y, and Z. Like when I tap in, no matter what episode I'm watching, I learn something. And so that's something that I definitely relate to because that's who I want to be as a person, as a professional, as a helper in my communities. I learned something from every single episode that I watched. Like have not been a episode where I have not learned something new. So I don't think I have a favorite.
Yeah, they're all
Appreciate what
different.
y'all read. Black folk don't have a community where we can come to and get support and educated and really show up as our true and authentic selves. So I appreciate the work that y'all are doing.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. I appreciate hearing that, man. I know, as you two already know, and Tip in the background knows, like the reason for it is a digital Rolodex. You
Mhm.
go in there, you look at it, and you're like, who? What's their name? How does it fit? Read through it, see what the information is, get all your Googles done, contact them if you need
Correct.
assistance. How did you find me? They'll Talk Glove Podcast. Oh, okay, so you must be okay. It's almost like seriously, it's like it's a vetting ground. And at
Right.
the same time,
Yeah.
it's its own library, or I'm gonna call it, it's better than a telephone book. Because
Ooh,
we've had to
typical
go through a
personality.
process. Yeah. So
First
I've
for a
went
coffee
and
shop
done
interview already.
did ask these people. You get to really know what's going on and with the person, who the person is before you even want to reach out. I think if we
Right.
had this type of resource growing up in our early 20s, I think it would have been so amazing because, like, here's the cool thing. We've had mentors, we've had friends and family members to assist us with things, but outside of our familiar network, it'd be nice to have this at that age. And so this is something that we're like, yo, let's supply this to people so that they can use it. Because there's so many people out there doing great things and attempting to change people's lives. But if you aren't in their realm or in their sphere of influence, you can miss out. So it's a great way to get in people's bubbles without having to stretch yourself too thin.
So how can people actually get in contact with the Business Success
Yep.
Center and become a member or find you guys on social media?
So we have a phone number, but I strongly discourage people from calling me because I'm one person and I travel throughout the state.
Your
So
number?
email would be the
Much love
easiest.
to our
Your number?
purple.
Your number?
Email. Like just email me and I'll get back to you. But it's my first name, CHANTELLE, Scaced, SCACED.org. And then we also have a website, it's the Opportunity Center
Wait, say that again.
SC.org.
Say that email again.
The web The email is my name, Chantel, CHANTELLE, at Scaced, SCACED.org.
Okay.
And the website for the Business Success Center is no, I think it's just opportunitysc.org. I have to get it back to y'all. I don't know the site, to be honest,
Yeah,
but
but
Well, you probably
I
you don't need to.
I don't use it for myself, but it
Yeah.
has our application and
Okay.
it has all the information on it, but I'll send it to you.
You said there's no cost. It is free, correct?
The trainings are free. We do have a membership for those who are in the area and want to use the space as like co-working slash incubator space.
oh
There's a
wow.
$100 a
Okay.
month fee for that we
Perfect.
provide are free. Dollars a
Okay.
month, you get the business address, you get access to all of our
Oh.
trainings. You get the office supplies, you get the office space, you get a receptionist, you get all of those amenities for your
Shut for
business.
$100 a
I
month?
mean, I can't even run it out of my
It's
house
pretty
for $100
affordable.
a month.
Dang. Good. I'm
Yeah,
about to say that is great. We
sir.
gotta let people know about that. Okay. All right. So you're gonna make sure to send us that website
Yes,
so we
I
can
send you the
confirm
rest.
it, and then we'll make sure to put this information on it because I think this is something that especially folks in that region need to be aware of. That's something that they can take advantage and tap into. And you all serve now. Here's the thing: serve the entire state. Say somebody up in what place
All
out
of
in Spartanburg One
Go all the way,
Valhalla, yeah,
Valhalla.
Palmaria. Say they want to come down. How does that work? How do they utilize? So they would pay, get the membership. Would they have to come down to Charleston to use the space?
If they wanted to use the space or if they just wanna use it as a business address,
Okay,
Oh,
because I
that's what I
don't
was wondering.
recommend address. Don't use
Got
your
you.
mama address, then you got a disgruntled customer do
Like that
that.
little cat.
right.
Use the business
Yeah,
address.
you don't want that.
Right.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Okay, I understand. That makes sense. Perfect. Well, before we get off, is there anything that you all would like to add? Any other questions you all for Chantel?
Just tap in, all business owners. I know sometimes it can be a little daunting to start a business, or if you stuck in this space where you can't grow, there's people out there to help you. I don't know why we don't know about these resources, but I get paid to know about the resources and I'm gonna share it with you. So definitely tap in with me, and I'll make sure that you have the right connections that you need.
Well,
Excellent.
thanks
Well,
so much.
anything from the
And
host?
thanks for supporting
Mike
us.
good? To Mike good?
I've known you like all my life, and you've always been always
Mhm.
supportive. Always, always business related. She don't wanna hear nothing else but
Yeah.
business stuff. So I like about you, and I'll be sending a lot of people your way.
Thank you, and
Word.
likewise, a couple of people sent to
Please
y'all too,
do.
actually, that remind
Please do.
yeah.
Please do. Just to wrap up, Hilltop Club podcast. We got our sponsor on, Chantel Broughton. It's her first year sponsoring our podcast. We greatly appreciate it. Blessings to you, sister. Keep doing what you're doing, affecting change positively in the world around you and in our state. Make sure that we will promote and get folks over to you over at the Business Success Center. If you have any questions or concerns about this, we will have the information posted so that you all will be able to see it, connect with her, get a membership for all the resources that they give for businesses. And if you're there locally, use the space, etc. Make sure that you are pushing your entrepreneurship to the max. Outside of that, this is the
Absolutely.
Hilltop Club podcast. This is DJ and what?
Mike,
Mike, Tamaya, and of course our sponsor, Chantel Broughton. We got Skip in the background, acting like Skip in the background hiding. But until the next time, in the meantime, tell somebody next to him that you love them, that you appreciate them, spread love.
The Hilltop Girl Podcast.